Yo, what it is? It's your boy Nisi coming back with another bullseye of a tutorial here today on the channel. So I got a really dope artist. I noticed that he don't got too much tutorials out there, but I wanted to break down the sound of Nardo Wick. Okay, so if you guys do like this tutorial, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe and drop more suggestions for artists down below. So let's not waste no time and let's go.
I'm a hot boy, drop out my cars like it's urgent. I'm a hot boy, don't get too close cause I might burn you. I'm a hot boy, but I put ice on all my bitches. I'm a hot boy, I bring that fire to the trenches. I'm a hot boy, drop out my cars like it's urgent. I'm a hot boy, don't get too close cause I might burn you. I'm a hot boy, but I put ice on all my bitches. I'm a hot boy, I bring that fire to the trenches.
Okay, so that was me trying to do my best impression of Nardo Wick, really trying to copy that vocal tone. He has a very interesting, vocal characteristic, Nardo Wick. He kind of has like a vocal that it sounds like it's chafing. When I listen to his vocal, it sounds like it's really dry, it's really ashy. When I listen to a Nardo Wick vocal, it makes me feel like I want to apply a little bit of lotion on my arms because it needs some moisturizing. Okay, so let's look at the vocal chain and let's bypass every single plugin in and out. Okay, so let's go right now. Okay.
I'm a hot boy, drop out my cars like it's urgent. I'm a hot boy, don't get too close cause I might burn you. I'm a hot boy, but I put ice all on my bitches. I'm a hot boy, I bring that fire to the trenches. I'm a hot boy, drop out my cars like it's urgent. I'm a hot boy, don't get too close cause I might burn you. I'm a hot boy, but I put ice all on my bitches. I'm a hot boy, I bring that fire to the trenches. I'm a hot boy, drop out my cars like it's urgent. I'm a hot boy, don't get too close cause I might burn you. I'm a hot boy, but I put ice all on my bitches. I'm a hot boy, I bring that. I'm a hot boy, drop out my cars like it's urgent. I'm a hot boy, don't get too close cause I might burn you. I'm a hot boy, but I put ice all on my bitches. I'm a hot boy, I bring that.
Okay, so you guys got an understanding of what the vocal template sounds like. So with somebody like Nardo Wick, he has a somewhat of a raspy voice, but I feel like it's a little bit more like dandruff, where his vocal is really dry, but it's just really flaky. You know what I mean? It still has a little bit of movement to it. It's not just kind of like a solid blob of like a dust weed or tumbleweed. It's not just a solid ball of tumbleweed that's kind of like really stagnant and close together. It feels like it still has a little bit of wiggle room on it. So with a guy like Nardo Wick, I understand that he's talking about I'm a hot boy, I came from the trenches. And when the first thing that I do as an engineer is I look for the lyrics of the artist to be kind of like Dora. You feel me? In a situation where you're watching Dora as a little kid and you see that Dora is starting to navigate you through the whole episode and shit like that. You know, she's like a tour guide or whatever. She's an explorer. So as an engineer, as I'm trying to explore the vocal or explore the artistic direction that I want to take for the rapper, I'm listening to the words. What is he saying? He says he's from the trenches. So when I hear the trenches, I instantly think of a dirty channel strip or any type of dirty plugins. And I that kind of, I use that as like kind of like the first point, you know, the GPS pointing to me saying, hey, go north, you know? So I use the SSLG because I know he's talking about he's from the trenches. He's a hot boy. He's this, and that. He's talking about the streets. So I picked the SSLG. All right. And then of course we rolled off some of that low end for Nardo Wick's voice. Usually rappers like Nardo Wick that have that really like raspy voice, if I'm recording them, I would tell them, hey, you know, you got a great vocal character, man. Come up a little bit closer to the microphone. I would usually have like a foam ball or something like this to where, you know, it's keeping the rapper from coming all the way into the microphone, you know. So you got to make sure that you tell the rapper, hey, you could come up to the microphone because you got a nice little, like that can only really come in when they're close to the microphone, right? So yeah, rolling off some of that low end because I did come up closer to the mic, rolling off some of that that low mid type of range, but I'm being very delicate about it because that's kind of like the main highlight of his voice.
I'm a hot boy, drop out my cars like it's urgent. I'm a hot boy, don't get too close cause I might burn you. I'm a hot boy, but I put ice all on my bitches. I'm a hot boy, drop out my cars like it's urgent. I'm a hot boy, don't get too close cause I might burn.
pretty much treating the vocal like some smoked barbecue chicken, you feel me? I'm cutting off the meat, but I'm keeping off some of the bone of his vocal, so it's not just completely like nothing on it, you feel me? So yeah, as you can hear, like we wrote off some of the low end, but we're keeping a lot of that vocal character in that low end. We're not being too aggressive, we're being very delicate. Very important for Nardo Wick's voice is using the gate. It kind of helped to give it that little hydraulics type of bounce to it, so listen.
I'm a hot boy, draw all my cars like it's urgent. I'm a hot boy, don't get too close cause I might burn you. I'm a hot boy, but I put ice all on my bitches. I'm a hot boy, draw all my cars like it's urgent. I'm a hot boy, don't get too close cause I might burn you. I'm a hot boy, but I put ice all on my bitches. I'm a hot boy,
So I love using something like that gate on that SSLG to do kind of like a push and pull on the vocal, and now you're hearing it starting to bounce a little bit versus where it was just kind of like a stagnant vocal that was like, I'm saying, that big blob of, you know, sloppy Joe. So use something like gates and compressors to make that vocal bounce up and down, okay? It gives the vocal a nice little bit of groove, especially with a monotone rapper like Nardo Wick. Sometimes that type of tone like this, it can start to get boring. So as an engineer, you're responsible for trying to add a little bit of that life, to add a little bit of that entertainment, to add a little bit of that Cajun seasoning onto the vocal by, you know, how you make it move or the color you apply. After that, using a de-esser, of course, I boosted at 5K, then I cut it with the de-esser as well because I want my high end to wiggle around a little bit, especially with somebody like Nardo Wick where his vocals is really dry, you feel me?
I'm a hot boy, draw all my cars like it's urgent. I'm a hot boy, don't get too close cause I might burn you. I'm a hot boy, but I put ice all on my bitches.
So usually with something like the SSL, you know, it has a very musical high shelf. That red band is a high shelf, so that means like pretty much everything past the 5K and up is being extended, right? So after that, we use the Magma BB Tubes plugin, a really dope plugin I like. It's a tube saturator, and it has two different types of saturation, which is the beauty mode and the beast mode, like Marshawn Lynch running over people. I'm listening to somebody like Nardo Wick, how he's got that crocus out of his voice. And there's different ways to approach that. He kind of sounds like the Cookie Monster on Sesame Street or some shit like that. You got to pay attention to the rapper as they rapping in the room. You know, you're getting a feel for what are the strengths and the weaknesses of their vocal. You feel me? So with somebody like Nardo Wick, I'm hearing that croak. I'm hearing that croak, that dry Sahara desert, I need water type of vocal, right? So I use the Beast, which is kind of like a gritty tube type of sound to enhance his vocal character. So it's different ways of enhancing the good parts of your vocal. You could do it through EQ, you could do it through saturation, you could do it through compression, the effects that you pick. So this is kind of like adding a little bit of what's good about the person.
I'm a hot boy, draw all my cars like it's urgent. I'm a hot boy, don't get too close cause I might burn you. I'm a hot boy, but I put ice all on my bitches. I'm a hot boy, draw all my cars like it's urgent. I'm a hot boy, don't get too close cause I might burn you. I'm a hot boy, but I put ice all on my bitches. I'm a hot boy, I bring that fire to the trenches.
It kind of really gives it a nice little bit of, you know, like the toys that the baby plays with. It gives it a little bit of rattle. And because now it gives a little bit of rattle, you know, it kind of makes it feel a little bit more tangible what he's saying about he's hot. He's a hot boy. Usually when you're hot, you talk like that. It's kind of hot in here. You know what I mean? So that's a part of you being the engineer, you being the photographer, you being the video editor, and depicting the movie, which is the vocal, depicting how you want the listener to, you know, kind of see the artist in a certain light. Okay, after that, we have the Wave C4 using my favorite preset pop vocal, of course, with somebody like Nardo Wick. The pop vocal preset is perfect, especially because it kind of works that mid-range a little bit, opens up the mid-range a little bit, and because we're ducking down that I like to call it the mud range. Not the whole mid-range is mud range, but specifically like that kind of like boxy frequency. I'm doing it dynamically, so I'm still getting a little bit of that low mid warmth that's important for somebody like Nardo Wick, right? But the low end is actually kind of really slow, so I don't want it to move around too much because it's going to be very distracting.
I'm a hot boy, draw all my cars like it's urgent. I'm a hot boy, don't get too close cause I might burn you. I'm a hot boy, but I put ice all on my bitches. I'm a hot I'm a hot boy, drive all my cars like it's urgent. I'm a hot boy, don't get too close cause I might burn you. I'm a hot boy, but I put ice all on my bitches. I'm a hot boy, I bring that fire.
So pay attention. When you use something like a C4 or any multi-band compressor, any compressor in general, you could start to be like a lighthouse where I'm taking that light, boom, on that croak, on that vocal croak. I'm a hot boy. When I bypassed the C4, you couldn't really hear it like that. You heard the vocal was kind of buzzing and ruffling around a little bit, but now that I put the C4 in there, now it's very clear that he has a croak in his voice and that he's a hot boy. You feel me? That's the most important thing about it, taking that light like it's a talent show and boom, sparking it on the rapper's vocal. Listen again.
I'm a hot boy, drive all my cars like it's urgent. I'm a hot boy, don't get too close cause I might burn you. I'm a hot boy, but I put ice all on my bitches. I'm a hot boy, I bring that fire to the trenches.
So it's like I'm shining a light on what's good about his vocal, but using the ears, you feel me? Using your ears. Like where the light you can see something better, but using that compressor you can hear it better, you know what I mean? Highlighting it pretty much. Taking that Sharpie pen and highlighting that bit. Okay, after that SSLG comp compressor, I like this for Nardo because it kind of has a smoothing characteristic. This bus compressor has VCA components, and we know those VCA components, they make it a little bit of a little bit of bitey, a little bit of, snappy, just a little bit. But I use the hard ratio of 10, and usually if you use a lower ratio, it will work a little bit more gradually on the whole entire signal. But when you use a higher ratio, it starts to work on the peak energy. So just mostly going for the hot, those specific words are getting the compression and it's helping them get a little bit more thud. Also understanding that the SSL, G bus compressor from Waves, it also allows me to choose the transformer right here, the analog warmth, whether I want it or not, and that gives a low mid bump. So being very smart about the situation, I just cut out the low mid, but then I'm bringing back the low mid in with saturation. You feel me? So very, very articulate how you guys got to understand the components of these plugins. See how I just cut out the mid range. Now I brought it back, but I didn't bring it back with no EQ though. You feel me? There's different ways to boost it, and I use the analog, which is bringing some of that that low mid push.
I'm a hot boy, drive all my cars like it's urgent. I'm a hot boy, don't get too close cause I might burn you. I'm a hot boy, but I put ice all on my bitches. I'm a hot boy, I bring that fire. I'm a hot boy, drive all my cars like it's urgent. I'm a hot boy, don't get too close cause I might burn you. I'm a hot boy, but I put ice all on my bitches. I'm a hot boy, I bring that fire to the trenches. I'm a hot boy, I'm a hot boy, drive all my cars like it's urgent. I'm a hot boy, don't get too close cause I might burn you.
So a bit of heavy compression, really heavy-handed with the compression. I want you to hear what the VCA is doing because I understand what VCA circuitry does to a vocal. So you could be a little bit more heavy-handed with, that hot sauce when you know how spicy it's gonna make the soup. They say, damn, why you dumping in all that hot sauce? Oh, I know what type of flavor I'm getting out of it. So the same thing applies with engineering. When you understand the ingredients, you can cook differently from other people who don't understand the ingredients. You feel me? So yeah, use that transformer and that VCA to give a little bit of size, a little bit of girth, a little bit of chest, put it in that little, that kangaroo pose, that type of for the vocal type shit. After that, we use the RVOX. That RVOX is bringing in that big body bends. Remember, I used to be dusty. Is bringing in that big body G-Wagon into the vocal with that compression, thickening up things a little bit, okay? Making it like oatmeal, that porridge with that pot, okay? And then after that, VCA, that VCA, of course, it has a way of making the top end bitey. So I'm using the RVOX because it's gonna smooth the top end. So pretty much we're still getting that smooth killer swag. I'm a hot, but it changes. I'm a hot, but understanding that the rapper's vocals kind of like that. He's somewhat smooth. He's not overly energetic. So that's my direction as an engineer. I'm going for a little bit of aggression, but I'm balancing it out with the RVOX, which is gonna smooth out the top.
I'm a hot boy, drive all my cars like it's urgent. I'm a hot boy, don't get too close cause I might burn you. I'm a hot boy, but I put ice all on my bitches. I'm a hot boy, I bring that fire to the trenches.
Yeah, it really helps it start to become a little bit more silky smooth, When I hear like a really dry vocal like this, like the dandruff, his vocals just sounds like dandruff, man. The first color I think about when I hear Nardo Wick's vocal is gray. You feel me? Like you just think of the color gray, bruh. The SSLG is gray. The SSL bus comp is gray color. Even his project that he did, like it's a black and white gray cover. Like his vocal is just gray. You feel me? Like it's just a gray colored. It just makes you think of darkness and clouds. So after that, we have the REQ, just kind of tackling a little bit of that mid range even more because we done already did a couple of layers of compression, and that's really starting to push things forward, forward, forward. So now it's all about my room is messy, my closet is messy. Okay, now let me get the shoes back in order. Let me put the shirts back in order. Let me put the jacket where it gotta be. Let me put the blanket where it gotta be. I'm using the REQ as a way of kind of like reorganizing the vocal type shit.
I'm a hot boy, drive all my cars like it's urgent. I'm a hot boy, don't get too close cause I might burn you. I'm a hot boy, but I put ice all on my bitches. I'm a hot boy, I bring that fire to the trenches. I'm a hot boy, drive all my cars like it's urgent. I'm a hot boy, don't get too close cause I might burn you. I'm a hot boy, but
Yeah, so pretty much doing a counter move at that point. After that, we have the fresh air. And of course, that's just giving us that little mainstream lift.
I'm a hot boy, drive all my cars like it's urgent. I'm a hot boy, don't get too close cause I might burn you. I'm a hot boy, but I put ice on all my bitches. I'm a hot boy, I bring that fire to the trenches. I'm a hot boy, drive all my cars like it's urgent. I'm a hot boy, don't get too close cause I might burn you. I'm a hot boy, but I put ice on all my bitches. I'm a hot boy, drive all my cars like it's urgent. I'm a hot boy, don't get too close cause I might burn you.
So yeah, if Nardo Wick's his voice is kind of like a gray, rainy cloud. What I'm doing is I'm bringing in a little bit of sunshine into the vocal, pretty much bringing a little bit of sunshine into the vocal with that fresh air, brightening things up just a little bit. Then another de-esser. Okay, that's nothing. We know what that does. After that, I used a H delay, but with my EQ, it's important. Mostly mid range focused. Like really don't want the top end, really don't want the low end, like really going for that mid range and letting that be the doubling part of it. So that's something important too to understand with delay. Sometimes you can have a dark vocal, but then you extend the top end of your delay, and that could make up for the brightness that you're not getting in the lead vocal type shit. So the brightness for the vocal, it doesn't always have to completely lean on the actual vocal itself. Sometimes it could be the reverb that's bright or the delay that's bright. You don't have to limit yourself to always getting that crispy bright vocal, when sometimes brightness is about relativity. Like how I said, one, like his vocal's kind of like a gray cloud, but then I use the fresh air to bring a little bit of sun in it. It's like a situation like that too.
I'm a hot boy, drive all my cars like it's urgent. I'm a hot boy, don't get too close cause I might burn you. I'm a hot boy, but I put ice all on my bitches. I'm a hot boy, I bring that fire to the trenches. I'm a hot boy, drive all my cars like it's urgent. I'm a hot boy, don't get too close cause I might burn you.
Yeah, so you see, just by extending that top end, it started to bring in like that sibilance, but that's kind of unnecessary for his vocal because it's already so like we're going for a dark theme. But sometimes that's something to pay attention to, how you filter the echo and stuff. So after that, we have the empty garage. We're using the room type, which is the room reverb on the R verb, and this is pretty important for me. That small room makes it more intimate for Nardo Wick's vocal. Paying attention. I'm not just using a big old size. I'm paying attention to the size, and usually if I want a tighter vocal, I'm gonna go with a smaller size room that's gonna make it a little bit more upfront and a little bit more personal type shit like that. You know what I mean? So smaller room size brings things forward too.
I'm a hot boy, drive all my cars like it's urgent. I'm a hot boy, don't get too close cause I might burn you. I'm a hot boy, but I put ice all on my bitches. I'm a hot boy, I bring that fire to the trenches. I'm a hot boy, drive all my cars like it's urgent. I'm a hot boy, don't get too close cause I might burn you. I'm a hot boy, but I put ice all on my bitches. I'm a hot boy, I bring that fire.
It's very subtle, but the bigger size that you make the room, it kind of has like a spreading effect on the vocal in general. So if you want tight upfront vocals, maybe you might want to go with something like a room reverb. Maybe you might want to go with something like a hall and use S1 imager to make it smaller, because the smaller space, it puts things up in front. So with Nardo Wick, that's what we're going for, up in front, dry vocal. Doubler stomp, man, we already know what that does, just doubling the vocal and stuff like that. REQ, S1 stereo imager on the double, so
I'm a hot boy, drive all my cars like it's urgent. I'm a hot boy, don't get too close cause I might burn you. I'm a hot boy, but I put ice all on my bitches. I'm a hot boy, I bring that fire to the trenches. I'm a hot boy, drive all my cars like it's urgent. I'm a hot boy, don't get too close cause I might burn you. I'm a hot boy, but I put ice on.
Yeah, so most important thing was that EQ. You know, I didn't want to double the low end because his vocal already has so much low end. I was going for that warm but dry, you know, intimate vocal with Nardo Wick. He's a hot boy. When you're in a hot space, usually it's because there's a lot of fucking people around. So that's something to understand, the draw from your human experiences in life. Usually, if it's a room with hella people in it, you're gonna be like, damn, it's kind of hot in here because everybody's body warmth is making it hotter. That's usually with like smaller spaces. You feel me? So just use your understanding of the world and put it into music, and it's going to make it more relatable and it sound better. It's gonna make it feel better because your body's gonna accept it as something that's natural. Okay. After that, we have a Waves MV2 pushing out all the low level detail on Nardo Wick. Most important thing with Nardo Wick, I want to bring up all that low level detail because that's where a lot of the crack level, that's where a lot of the snap, crackling, and pop of his vocal is. The detail, you know, the fine imperfections in his vocal are usually in the lower level. That goes with a lot of people. Usually, like that lower level detail is like the fine imperfections that I like to call them, like little stuff that just makes it feel more human, makes it feel more natural, makes it feel more organic, makes it feel more street, raw, gritty, relatable. And I'm pushing that all up with the MV2 and I'm blending it back in.
I'm a hot boy, drive all my cars like it's urgent. I'm a hot boy, don't get too close cause I might burn you. I'm a hot boy, but I put ice all on my bitches. I'm a hot boy, I bring that fire to the trenches. Nardo, Nardo. I'm a hot boy, drive all my cars like it's urgent. I'm a hot boy, don't get too close cause I might burn you. I'm a hot boy, but I put ice all on my bitches. I'm a hot boy, I bring that fire to the trenches.
Yeah, so that's what we're looking at right here. And let me see something real fast. So we have the Nardo Wick ad libs as well. We're using the SSLG again, but with different settings, rolling off all the low end type shit, rolling off just a little bit of top, you know, just pretty much using a limiter as well. And when you put that SSLG channel strip on limiter mode and you do a little compression, it has a way of actually doing a little bit of transient enhancement that's coming from like that VCA circuit.
Nardo, Nardo. I'm a hot boy, drive all my cars like it's urgent. I'm a hot boy, don't get too close cause I might burn you. I'm a hot boy, but I put ice all on my bitches. I'm a hot boy, I bring that fire to the trenches.
So with those, I was trying to go with like a really great demonic type of aggressive, changes, like a little bite, you know, pit bull, Rottweiler type of ad libs, if you know what I mean. Using a relatively fast attack on this. I don't even know if this was doing compression. I think this is probably only using the output gain from the SSL bus compressor, so getting some dirty gain.
Nardo, Nardo. I'm a hot boy, drive all my cars like it's urgent. I'm a hot boy, don't get too close cause I might burn you. I'm a hot boy, but I put ice all on my bitches. I'm a hot boy, I bring that fire to the trenches.
Yeah, so sometimes with these analog plugins, you can use them to make your life easier by just understanding the components. Oh, if I want a brighter vocal, maybe I don't gotta use boosting EQ. Maybe I could just pull out a tube plugin like a Pultec and just leave it there and crank up the volume a little bit, you know, because that's gonna give me my brightness without me having to do all that extra work. So using the analog model plugins to your advantage, understand the components and make your life easier. All right, type shit. So after that, you got another RVox just only using the gate, nothing crazy here. We already know what's going on. Odin, at this point, I still want an extended high end with these ad libs because the vocals are so great. So I have an extended high end, and of course, you know, it's coming down to the slope of it. You know, if you want to get like a tighter high end, you know, you would tighten up the Q. So the Q is very important because you could use that to extend, you know, how like something sounds. If you want something to sound a little bit smoother on the top end, you might want to widen up the Q. If you want it to sound a little bit more tighter, you might want to make the Q like a tie and make it a little bit more tighter, make it a little bit more stingy, make it a little bit more harder, make it a little bit more jagged around the edges, make it a little bit more sharp, and that will give you a sharp sounding type of you know, signal, whether it be a kick, a bass, or a vocal. Okay, so after that, using the Magma BB tube, cranking it up like crazy, and going into the delay, and that's giving me a little bit of gritty delay. So it's kind of like gluing my lead vocal to my ad libs, you know, with the texture.
Nardo, Nardo. I'm a hot boy, drive all my cars like it's urgent. I'm a hot boy, don't get too close cause I might burn you. I'm a hot boy, but I put ice all on my bitches. I'm a hot boy, I bring that fire to the trenches.
Nardo, Nardo.
I'm a hot boy, drive all my cars like it's urgent. I'm a hot boy, don't get too close cause I might burn you. I'm a hot boy, but I put ice on.
It just kind of gives a little bit of this to the delays. It kind of gives it that little jagged, type of texture, type of situation to the delays, and that kind of glues it together. So, that's another great way to glue, something together. Maybe you might want to use one effect on the lead vocal, but then on the reverb of another vocal, you use this type of effect. So even though they might be different EQ-wise, dynamic-wise, and everything like that, you still can get this relatively same texture so they feel the same type shit. After that, use the hard reverb. Okay, we don't care about that. We already know what's going on with that. So pretty much this is the end of the Nardo Wick vocal tutorial today. I ain't never seen nobody did a good Nardo Wick vocal tutorial, so I decided to come slap it up the head. Just want to say thanks a lot for being a great part of my YouTube family. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Suggest some more artists down below. And oh yeah, by the way, if you guys want me to keep doing these vocal tutorials, please drop more suggestions for artists. I want to get to it. So I just want to say thanks a lot for being a great part of my YouTube family. Appreciate y'all now, YouTube gang. Peace.